So what is the big deal about um, Enchanted Rose whole thing? Um, People have been asking me to kind of create a gossip girl from the costume community. I'm not sure if I'm the kind of person. I don't know how to, have this kind of thing. And I also don't have a beef with anybody. I actually like her very much. She has always been very sweet to me. And I love her art. But help me help you. Help me defend you. This is kind of like a meme that Brazilians do. Help me defend you. I would love to be on your side. I would love to defend you. But this time, specifically, it's very hard for me to find anything like lovely to say. I feel she's not a trash person. This is my particular opinion. I don't feel like because you were wrong one time that you should be canceled and you are uh, instantly a trash person. I do not agree with this. I will always, always, always defend uh, not cancel culture, but counsel culture. And here's me trying to counsel you again. And it feels like, do you see this? Think kind of normal. And it feels like super tiring to me because every single month there is an issue that pretty much the 10 other people of color in the community try to explain basic human life facts to a different white lady. This time it was her. Um, I have nothing against her, and seriously, I I am not against her in any way, and I'll keep supporting her for this time. And this is my opinion. You don't have to do that, but for this time, I will because it feels to me that she fell for the trap of the outright. I feel, and I'm not trying to shade any Americans. I'm so sorry, but there is a lot of people in America right now that is in Canada and but I live in America, so I can't really say much about America Canadians. I feel like it's more located here. A lot of people are against because of all of the meme and disinformation on the internet created by the alt right and the far right. And I feel like she shared one of those memes. I don't even think it's considered a meme. I'm not even sure if it's a meme or not, but she definitely shared one of those propaganda from them. And what happened was this kind of propaganda creates not just misinformation, but also banalizes uh, the Holocaust. And it's crazy to me because if um, we were talking about a country that, like Brazil, that doesn't have that much of a bigger Jewish population, I would kind of see it like, oh, maybe she's like from a middle of nowhere, um, never met a Jewish person before, and I don't know. I mean, everybody. If you ever watch like a Marvel movie, you know what Nazis did. You know, like I feel it's impossible not to know. But let's say she did come from a country where there is no, uh, pretty much no synagogues anywhere, maybe. But here in the U.S. and Canada and many other countries in Europe, it's impossible to say that they don't know what Holocaust is. And it's extremely problematic because um, it's one of the biggest genocides in humankind. It's just so hard to not take it seriously. It's just, I don't know. and it's extremely problematic because we're not even like talking about the Roman Empire enslaving half of the world, which we should talk about it, but we're not even talking about that. We're talking about something that happened like not long ago. People are still alive, the survivors, and the people that did it, the Nazis, are still alive. Like one of the guys died a couple of years ago in Brazil. He had a great life. He was never punished, and went living in Brazil, and um, yeah, it's just that we can't cut them any slack. We cannot relax. The Nazis are still here, they're still around us, and they like when you say stuff like that. They like when you share propaganda like that because it banalizes a lot of people. Lots of people are starting to believe that the Holocaust didn't exist, which is crazy. This is why we need to have museums everywhere. Um, they're starting to think, oh, maybe it wasn't that big of a deal because people constantly banalizes um, what happened in the Holocaust, and Americans do that a lot. I don't know which one are um, like the worst offender. I couldn't possibly say that, but um, it definitely happens a lot in here. Like you're in a common conversation, and people will say stuff like, "Oh, this is a Nazi thing." No, no, it's not. It is not. And this is something that is very frequent, and people need to watch themselves and not compare their personal, not even a misfortune, I think, but let's say it was a misfortune, with the Holocaust. Like, no, it's not. You're not in any way being persecuted. You're not any way uh, being murdered for not showing your card. And it's such not a big deal because everywhere, Canada and the US, to go inside of a show, you would have to show your ID, or maybe not white people, but definitely me. You need to show your ID. You need to show again your ticket. You need to show something, some kind of identification, and now you need to show your card because a lot of people are just pretending they don't have it, and you don't even have to show it like in person. In some places you can just take a picture of it and you can just show on your phone, so it's really convenient. I really don't see what is the issue, and really the issue is banalizing, or um, just acting as if it was a light thing that happened, you know on a hooligans game. Like somebody broke some chairs and I don't know, no, a lot of people died horribly and are still dying. People have uh, been affiliated still with the Nazi party. They have the neo Nazis. They are still marching on the streets. They are still having their pool in Brazil. They have a Nazi pool with the swastika and everything. So they are still among us. And in the historical community, there's a lot of people. A lot of people. Every other day, we see something that we are horrified, and we try to expose the white supremacists within the community. And when you say that, I'm not saying that she is a white supremacist. I'm absolutely never said that. What I'm saying is when you say things that lightly because you didn't think through, because you didn't stop to be empathetic, because you were thinking way too much into your feelings and not thinking about anyone else. When you do that, and we have like a big following, what it creates is you create a safe place for bad people to be around you because you don't challenge their opinions. When you say stuff like that, it creates an oasis for uh, really ignorant people to feel safe and never to go study. And that is a huge problem in a community that we are supposed to know history, because that's the idea that we're passing, right? That we know history and we are teaching others. And I understand that not everybody knows a lot about the Holocaust. You don't have to know, but you don't really need to say anything about it. You know, it's better not to say a thing than to say something that ignorant that people will follow you, defend you. You know, it's just I don't, this is how I feel. It's better not to say. And today we didn't have this knowledge before, but today, for instance, you wouldn't um, you wouldn't, how do you say in English? I just forgot the word. You wouldn't compare your suffering with one from the other person. Let's say you had a friend that had depression. You wouldn't compare their suffering with yours. You should never say to a person with depression, "Oh, this is why you're depressed? Oh no, my life is way worse than yours. I broke my leg and then I crashed my car and then you know, you wouldn't do that with just one person. This is already very problematic between just two people. Imagine, imagine having your life compared to a genocide. Like, it's just, do you understand that? Like, it's already bad between two people. You're doing that between, two people. It's super bad. You can help a person not to commit suicide, or you could help them to fall way deeper into depression by doing that. So that is extremely bad. Imagine what you do, how amplified that is when you say that, comparing to a genocide. And just realize that when Asian people are asking, urging people not to commit hate crimes with, against themselves, asking to stop Asian hate, they're never comparing to the Holocaust, even though they are uh, murdered by, like, maybe not in every single country, but there are plenty of countries where Asians are targeted just because Muslims, the same thing. Uh, when African Americans created Black Lives Matter, and that rippled through the whole Americas, they're never comparing to the Holocaust. When Hawaiians are talking about Hawaii situation, they're never comparing to the Holocaust. When Native Americans talk about their situation, they're never comparing to the Holocaust, even though they I'm not sure about the numbers, but I guess if we talk about sheer amount of numbers, I guess they could compare percentage wise. But have you noticed that none of those groups that were actually persecuted and uh, all those people that have faced genocide, they never compared their um, feelings and with other disgraceful events. Have you ever noticed that? It's typically the most privileged people, that the ones that are always out of words to explain the little things that they're feeling. Like, you have so many words. The English is my second language, so I'm lacking words to be, you know, my orality in English is definitely lacking the finesse that I would like to have. I would love to be, um, I don't know, more eloquent. Would love to say big words, but I just can't. I don't have that much of vocabulary. Um, but yet, here I am trying to teach the basics. Why is that bad? Why shouldn't we do this in 2021? You know, it's just so exhausting. And I can never imagine the pain, really, to have a Jewish family, to grow up with, your grandparents or your great grandparents that you met, having to go through that lot, and being displaced, and you know and having to see your favorite person sharing a meme that is that ignorant, you know um, so yeah, so the whole point is, um, don't do that. You don't have to know everything about the Holocaust, but every time you feel like something awful happened in your life, and you want to say, this is persecution, this is just like Nazism, this is this not, don't, just don't take a break. um Take a break and go read about it, or go do something, go watch it, go do embroidery, just don't say it. Don't say it, because we have a responsibility. When I say something about Brazil, I double check, I triple check, I take my time. Uh, and still, I commit mistakes, of course. But when I say something about Brazil, I know that people take me seriously, and I know that they sometimes doesn't double check me because they know that this is correct. So when we are in this position that we became influencers, we need to take that seriously. It's not just being pretty and doing pretty dressing. Um, and again, I understand that everybody commits mistake. Everybody commits mistake. I am absolutely not judging her for this one mistake. Um, I don't think she's um, somebody that should not be forgiven, and somebody that, you know, I don't think this, but I do think we need to have, I don't know, some sort of consequences that um, push them to educate themselves, So, for instance, I would love to see um, they go into a museum to learn about the Holocaust. There are one in pretty much every state, and I would love to see how are they going to deal with that. Because I mean, you already commit the mistake, and you already apologize, and then what? You know, and this is just, again, nothing against her. It's just that she is right happening right now, but last month it was another one, and the other month it was another one, and then the other month was a couple of them, and then the other, every single month there is something. And then what? Who's next? So this is what I want to see. I want to see you learning. I want to see you improving. I'm not Jewish, so who am I to forgive or not? But personally, what I would want is, I want to see you learning. Show me that you learned. How did you learn? How do you learn? Well, reading books, going to events where they teach you. There are a couple of courses online. I'm pretty sure that any synagogue, if you email them, would be, uh, I don't know, glad to share some books with you, or at least point you in the right direction, where you could learn, and Yeah, I would love to see this growing. No, I feel personally, again, this is my opinion. I don't have the truth of the world, okay? I might be wrong. I don't know. But I feel, does he help losing followers? Does that do anything? If you feel like I'm following, that's okay. And you are entitled of your feelings. You don't have to forgive everybody. But in my opinion, as a teacher, I feel like maybe that's not enough. We need to see people learning. I want to see them working to learn. That's what I want to see. So how about, for instance, instead of next video apologizing and, doing a address and whatever, I would like to see them going to libraries, them going to a course, they're donating to a cause that will support, maybe for instance, a Holocaust museum. I would like to see um, more actions than just apologizing and then straight going another dress. This is one idea. I don't know if it's right or wrong. And again, I'm sorry, I'm not Jewish. I really don't know how to solve this problem. And I guess that nobody knows really. But the problem is done. What now? And are we gonna have to worry about who's next? Is it gonna have another white girl going flipping Karen because of, I don't know, her shoes doesn't match just, I don't know. I feel like every single month there's something going on. And the root of the problem is you're not thinking about others, you're thinking about yourself. You're just thinking about your feelings. And it's just, try to not put yourself in the center of everything. And every time you feel like comparing your suffering to others, don't. Just do not use other words. You're fluent in your language, or don't say it at all. So everybody's struggling with something. I have family members that are on chemotherapy right now, plus lost a couple for COVID. um, oh, there you go, I'm gonna have to flag here because I said the word. So in my opinion, asking for a paperwork just so you can get inside of a show, mall, a restaurant is not a big deal, because I think that everybody don't want to be a rat plague. But you know I know it is probably um, annoying for some people to forget their card in the house or in another bag. But how about this? You can make a cute card holder. I just bought one and it says multipass from Fifth Element. So I'm gonna show my card. It's gonna be a multipass. I'm gonna be allowed everywhere because I took my right. So it's just, I don't know. I don't know how I feel yet. Maybe in a couple of days I can process. But right now, I feel like I want to see where this is going, how people are actually learning, if it is any action backing their words. That's what I want to see. Bye bye, guys.